Alright, there's loads of different kinds you get. Some are really good for playing chords. Let's see these white ones. They're like waver thin. They're like 0.35 millimeters. These things, and they're like so flexible. Look how bendy this is. But it's good for chords. So say you're playing a chord that bends. So when you're strumming it down, there's like no pressure against the strings. It's just like bends with the string. So when you're playing chords, you go right through. See, it doesn't really catch, and sometimes when it's thicker, like here's a thicker one. These are like 1 millimeter thick. They're the same as your red ones. Oh, these blue PV things. The problem with these is sometimes they catch, and it's how you catch, it doesn't bend, so you got to play through and it can fall out your hand. The only benefit with the blue one compared to the red one you use, the ones I gave you, is it's much bigger. Well, it's a good bit bigger. That extra grip, when you put that in your hand, means you don't drop it as much. But I feel the impact, you still feel it hitting the string. Well, that wee skimpy one, the wee white bendy thing, Disney, just goes, it just bends if it hits anything hard, so they're the best probably if you played chords all the time. That bigger one's no bad because you can hold it. The problems with the bigger plectrums is when you go to do individual notes, you've got so much extra. Oh, see when I hold it that against that finger, and I just in there. See that wee bit? I lean it on there, and I put my finger on top of it. That's when I'm playing individual notes. So if I play like notes like single notes, because it makes it dead rigid in there and tight to your finger. Well, see if you're, if you're holding that, it's no good for strumming though. You end up hitting your hat because there's no much space between the top of the bit and the string. You end up your hand hits the strings. So when I'm actually strumming, say I was using that one, I would hold it back a bit. Well, I'd hold it just with the tips of my fingers, like in these fingers. I just hold it like that. Tips of my fingers. If I was strumming. Because you don't really need to do anything. But the difficult bit is if you're playing songs where you're strumming, say you're playing a chord, there's like a bar chord, and then you've got to play individual notes. When you hold it like that, you don't have as much control. When you're doing your individual notes, you really want to hold it sideways like this, to the side of your finger. Just depends what you're playing. I copied these wee red ones off that guy. And these ones are just variations of the red one, really. They're called Jazz Freeze. The ones I gave you have got a grippy stuff on them. That's just Kirk Hammett's. I gave you one of them as well. I think that's Kirk Hammett's version. The guy from Metallica uses the green one. That's his plectrum. There's other ones. There's like the wee green ones. That's like thick, that one. That is. I see, that's a 3 mil. That's a really thick plectrum. The red ones are like 1 mil. So you imagine 3 of that together. It makes it kind of round, which is good for playing that one. It's good for playing like individual notes. I don't like it that much because it's that round that kind of slips out your fingers as well. So I don't really use that one. The wee red one you've got, see how it's kind of pointy at the top? You actually get, this is a Jazz 2. See, and it's actually rounder at the top. Which means you can play through, when you're doing individual notes, it doesn't catch as much in the string because it's rounder. Kind of goes slides through the strings easier. Well, when it's the red one, you get more point, and it doesn't really slide the same. It's just benefits of each different one, really. These ones, see these orange ones, that's what the guy for the Red Hot Chili Peppers uses. I think they've about, is that a 50mm or 60mm? Something like that he uses, between 50 and maybe up to this red one, a 70. I think it's around the red one, because it's a kind of combination of both. It's big, it's flexible, but not totally flexible. So you can play your chords no bother, but you can also turn your hand around, spin the plectrum round in your fingers and do the individual bits as your solos and stuff. So he kind of does a bit of both, kind of like Jimi Hendrix. Individual notes and then they play chords and then I don't know, you just have to kind of... I just got these because I kept going in the guitar shop. See, every time I went in the guitar shop, I used to go in and... because I felt as if I wasn't buying something for the shop, I felt as if I kind of looking as if this guy's and maybe nicking stuff, I was thinking. So I used to go in and buy like a different pack of Plectrums every time I went in. But they're quite expensive Plectrums now. It used to only be like, I don't know, £1 for like a bag with like 6 or 8 Plectrums in it. Now I don't know how much it costs, everyone's dearer. But that's what Steve uses, that's why I use these. But they're mostly good. They're good for what Metallica, see what hangs with fifths, that you go down the reality. But it is, they're not the best for playing like Jimi Hendrix chords, because your hand catches, it's hard to push through. Jazz players use these, see folk the jazz country guys. What they're good for, see when you get really close, that makes pinch harmonics. But it's quite hard to get a pinch harmonic with the bigger plectrum. It makes it a lot easier, because you just want your finger to touch the side of the string. Another chunky one, that's a 1mm as well. You get these kind of long thin ones as well, these kind of things. See these? They're like the red ones, but they're thinner. They're actually thinner than the red one, and they're actually kind of slightly longer. See, these will be good for picking individual notes again. But then strumming will probably not be the best. You end up catching your fingers again. I don't know, Steve uses these red ones, but he can play everything. He's played with them that long, I think. He's just get used to it and he can just play any chords with it. See, I struggle to do that. See, fast chords, like. See, can I get stuck? You've got to play so lightly. You've got to learn to play light. Well, obviously your bendy one, you just go as anything you want. Because it just bounces right through the string. But then the problem with the bendy one is, see when you go to do these individual notes, it bends all over the place, so you get no, all the control goes out the window. It takes that long to bend back, you can't play fast. Here, as soon as you go any speed, it's bending about too much. Well, your red one's ideal for that.